Welcome everyone. Welcome Zach. Welcome Parag. Welcome Apiksha. Welcome Vinay to our Web3 One is to One talk show. Today we have with us Clement and Gauthier from Ondefy, and we had yesterday our board dev chat club over on Discord, and the Explain Like I'm Five session where we talked about the product they're building, asked a couple interesting questions that were just related to crypto, the market, and general experience running a company that is changing how people interact with DeFi protocols and essentially bridging the gap between normies and you could say veterans in the space. This should be fun. We waited a decent amount of time, so I suppose we'll just like hit the ground running and people will join in. But in the meantime, please, I encourage you to share the link of this Twitter space on your timelines, so a lot more people are, exposed to this content and they join in and they listen to all of the alpha Clem and Gauthier will share with us today, and that should be a lot of fun. So, welcome Gauthier, welcome Clement. How's your day been? How's it going?
Going good.
Great.
A lot of things, that we're working on and that we're building. So yes, it's things are shaping up, taking time, but it's going on well.
Awesome, that's great. That's good to hear. So, how about you, Clement? What have you been up to? You are in Europe, I suppose. So you're towards the evening, possibly, right? So it's like 2 p.m. thereabout. So how's your
Yeah,
day been so far?
we are in Switzerland, so it's nearly 6 p.m. here. So yes,
Gotcha. So you're 2 hours ahead of me, so that's cool.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's going great. Regular work day, doing what we usually do.
Cool. That's great. That's awesome. All right. So just because yesterday we talked about a handful of things that were more not in the that weren't particularly in depth as far as on DeFi was concerned or is concerned. It was more general crypto, DeFi, building experience, and I asked your engineer what his experience was like, building this tool and just like joining the team from a not essentially traditional background, and he shared his experience, and that was cool. Today, however, we are going a bit more in depth with like trying to figure out the ins and outs, the philosophy, the whys behind on DeFi. So, to hit the ground running, if you can, for every one of us here joining here who were not a part of the Discord yesterday, what exactly is on DeFi, and why should anyone care?
Okay, yeah. So we created on DeFi because DeFi summer came up, and there was all these opportunities and these tokens to access on different decentralized exchanges. And I was getting these crazy opportunities, and I saw that there was a big barrier for people to access these tokens, especially retail consumers who were mostly on centralized exchanges and wanted to in some certain cases access different types of tokens, or have a wider range of choice than from centralized exchanges. So with that problem I saw in the industry, I wanted to fix that. I wanted to make it simple for people to get these opportunities and to actually use DeFi as it is today in a simple way. So that's the big picture and why we created on DeFi. And so we fix that entry barrier. We make it simple for people to buy their first DEX token, because in general that's what people do in DeFi. But we also want to be a place where we aggregate different types of DeFi protocols in one single place, so that people can access different types of services, such as swapping, generating yields, and also do some margin trading. So the idea is really to replicate a sort of a centralized exchange experience where you can access different types of products, but fully on chain. So yeah, that's what we are doing at on DeFi.
Dope. That's pretty cool. So, one of the things you said, aggregate is a really big word. What exactly does that mean? Right? We're building a tool, I think, for people who are coming into the space. They have no idea what they're doing. Well, they probably have some idea, but we're attempting to make it as low barrier to entry as possible. So, What does it mean to aggregate multiple DeFi protocols?
Yeah, so for example, today there's a bunch of different chains. There's a bunch of different tokens that exist on these chains on different decentralized exchanges. And so what we do today is we aggregate the aggregators. So we enable people to access all the liquidity that there is, and we've also integrated different chains so that people can access that liquidity on those different chains. So in the end, we can also provide a better price because we have these aggregators, and we look at the best price and provide the best price for a specific user. So in that way, we've brought the best products into one single place while providing a simple user experience.
I see. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So you just take all of this data that has the best price and you present it to the user, and you use that to offer like the most convenient price that anyone gets to purchase a token at.
Exactly. So that's one thing that we've already built. We are gonna add different types of DEX aggregators in the long run as well, and other chains. But also, like we will do that for yield strategies. We will try to aggregate the best yields that's in the DeFi space. Propose a risk appetite for a specific user, and further down the line, we will also aggregate margin trading platforms. Because today it's really fragmented. You can use DYDX, GMX. They all have different prices, and yet again, we can aggregate it, make it simple, and provide the best prices in one single place.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. That does sound pretty cool. So how many DEXs do you aggregate prices from? Is it 2, 3, 4, 5, or how many DEXs do you work with to get the best price possible that you offer a user?
Yes. So today we work with we aggregate 1 inch pair swap,
Mm,
0x
mm,
API, and if I'm correct, Clément, we've also added Pancake Swap for transfer on fees tokens.
mm,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So yeah, each of 1 inch direct and paraswap aggregate many dexes. They may also have dexes in common. So we kind of dex aggregator. And also for specific fees on transfer tokens on the Binance Smart Chain, we also integrated PancakeSwap that specifically supports exchanges for those tokens. So I
uh,
couldn't say the precise number of dexes, but it's quite a lot.
okay, that's cool. That's cool. So that's quite interesting, right? So I'm curious, why do we have so much price disparity between tokens across these multiple dexes? Why is that? Why is Uniswap's price different from Paraswap, different from 1 inch, and by how much margin? And why is that a thing?
I'd say it depends for each dex on their pools, the current states of their pools. Pools may be more balanced in some places than others. So at one specific time, the price of a token is not the same everywhere. So the
Mm,
DEX aggregator managed for us the comparison of these DEXs. Also, they compare the gas prices of the gas fees for the transaction that are not always the
mm,
same. The
right.
more you want to swap, the more complicated the operation is. So they find the best path, the best route for you under the
Mm,
hood. So you have the best solution at the end.
awesome, cool. So it's and also some of those could be used to take advantage of arbitrage, for example, because of those slight dollar,
Exactly, yeah.
disparities.
Exactly. So if you
Gotcha.
want to swap Ether in USDC, you will do it on one DEX, and maybe if you want
Mm,
to go back USDC to Ether, this will be another DEX.
mm.
You can find arbitrage opportunities this way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Does an opportunity like this possibly exist with inside of the single on DeFi app, for example?
It will depend. You will need to be quite fast because you can
Mm,
only do one swap at a time.
mm.
But yeah, I guess you never know if
I
you're lucky.
suppose. Right. Can a user select what DEX they want to get their price aggregation from? Because what that would mean would be then they can actually perhaps Bitcoin is 20K on Uniswap, but like 19,500 on 1 inch. Can I choose to swap with from these particular DEX? So I'm buying from 1 inch and I'm selling from I'm selling at Uniswap right there, happening
Okay,
on DeFi.
Yeah, that's a good question. So what we do currently is that we have a server that manages to fetch the rates. So if you want to swap, let's say Ether for wrapped Bitcoin, you will you will put down your input amount of Ether, and then the server will compare the different DEX aggregators. So it will query the three of them, then receive the price, find the best price, and give you back the best solution. So at the moment you cannot select it, but you only have the best of them. Maybe then in the future we will give the option to the user to select if they prefer for some reason to do it on 1 inch rather than Paraswap, for example. But at the moment it's abstracted, so you only get the best of the three.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that might be pretty cool, because the other way to do that would be to switch from Uniswap to 1inch and running those on different tabs on your browser. So those are like seconds and minutes that are gone that could obviously impact the price. But having them in a single platform like on DeFi, I think that would be a really good way to take advantage of the arbitrage that exists in the price disparity. What do you guys think?
Anyway, you are ensured that when you want to do a trade, you get the best price that between all the DEXes. So if an arbitrage opportunity is there, you will eventually profit from it, because you will get the best price in each direction. So if you want to do one trade in one direction and then in the other, it will automatically select for you where the price is the best. So if an opportunity exists between two DEXes, yeah, it should be found automatically.
I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe you want to just break it down for me a bit. So here's how I think about it, right? So two DEXs, 1inch and Uniswap. So on 1inch, Bitcoin is cheaper. On Uniswap, Bitcoin is expensive. Now, technically, you'd give me the less expensive token to purchase whenever I'm trying to buy, right? But also when I'm trying to sell, you will give me in USDC value what I already have, right? Or am I missing something?
So first of all, consider that 1inch includes Uniswap. So Uniswap is a DEX,
Right,
and
exactly.
it is aggregated by 1inch. So by doing a swap through 1inch, you may do it by Uniswap if Uniswap is found to be the one who proposes the best rate.
Right.
So then when you want more USDC at the end than you had at the beginning, so you need to find like some interesting rates. So here, by having the best rate available always, if an arbitrage opportunity will exist, you will maybe find it. But then you need also to take into account that prices vary quite fast in this space. So you will need to do a swap in a direction, then a swap in the other direction. And between the two, you are not ensured that price do not vary. So the time that the transaction is executed, etc., there can be some slippage, and you're not profit at the end. So it's you kind of crossing fingers anyway if you do it that way.
Sure. I suppose there is that. All right, awesome. Except I guess if you're working with Flash bots and you're having bots execute these trades as soon as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, with Flash bots, it's their purpose, to do it before others.
Before others, yeah, awesome, cool. So what are some of the? I'll throw in a random number here. What are some of the 5 coolest features or things out on DeFi? Coolest things you've built and you think this is really cool. 5 is a random number. If it's 10, that's amazing. If it's 3, give it to us.
Yeah, I can maybe start with one or two, and then Clément, I'll let you take the rest. So one feature that we're actively working on, which is highly demanded by some of the projects we touched, we contacted, is the fact that we're building a sort of side widgets, something that would be aside from the app, which will enable DEX projects to have a simple solution for their non-crypto native community to access their token. Because today, like, we see that there's a lot of projects that are only listed on DEXes, and they're facing a lot of issues for like explaining to people how they can access their token from their project. So the user experience is pretty smooth. Like, you just connect with MetaMask, you you select a certain amount of fiat that you would like to spend, and then you choose your specific token, and then we run you through the whole process, and everything is done for the user automatically. So meaning that he doesn't have to swap to a desired token once he's done the first process of connecting his wallet and buying USDC through an on-ramp provider. So the whole user journey that we've been working on, it's being developed, and this feature will come out in a month. And yeah, we see a lot of hype already on that product. And the second feature that's already there is it's the fact that you can easily like, let's say you're a user from a centralized exchange, you can easily come to us, create a wallet with your email, and then access all these different chains without having to set up any network. Approve and sign. Everything is abstracted, so we really made a solution where you feel like you are actually using a centralized exchange, but you're fully on chain. So these are the two things that I'm really hyped about, and there's also some others, but I think I will let Clément explain the other ones.
Yeah, so I agree with what Gauthier said. I'd say one of our main mission is to abstract as many technical details as possible when onboarding on the DeFi space, beginning with wallet creation. So you only need an email address, or if you have an existing MetaMask, you can use it as well, of course. And after having done this, you can access, at the moment, 8 EVM chains. So that offers already a lot of possibilities, with a total of, I'd say, around 10,000 tokens. So you can access pretty much all of them at the best price possible, with the comparison of different DEX aggregators. So this is pretty cool when you want to trade or buy some tokens. We also have at the moment earn features. So we integrated Aave, both V2 and V3. So you can see in direct the assets you have put on yield, your current return, the current APY. You can do some deposit withdrawals. So this is done pretty easily as well. In the future, as Gauthier said, we will also integrate a new feature for buying any token with the fiat money, with a basic credit card. At the moment, you can do it on the platform, but only for some restricted sets of tokens. For example, Ether or USDC, or really common tokens, mainly native and stable coins. So for the moment, we only have basic features for newcomers in the space. But we are also working on integrating new chains, new types of operations, such as margin trading. We will also integrate bridge in the future. So we'll try to be as complete as possible and offer a maximum of possibilities in one single place.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. I think one of my favorite feature is the ability to instantly swap between chains. We'll have access to whatever token exists in your chain, in your wallet, in whatever block, in whatever chain it exists, without like switching between MetaMask's, network switch, right? That annoying pop-up that MetaMask has whenever you need to switch from BSC to Ethereum to Polygon. I think it's a lot less. It doesn't exist in Ondefy. I think from the demo yesterday, I didn't see that.
It's done under the hood. Yeah, it's done for
Awesome.
you. You can
That is
select,
pretty cool. Yeah, no, that is pretty cool because whenever you just need to swap between, because like on my browser, MetaMask is always like giving me prompts, so switching between BS Scan to Uniswap and to perhaps a Polygon's DApp. It's like all of these pop-ups are so annoying, but having to just switch between all of that in one click on DeFi. When I saw that yesterday, I thought that was pretty cool. So yes, that is my cool feature. So awesome job there, guys.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah, we wanted to make this more convenient. 8 EVM chains. Network switch is you don't need to take care of it.
Yeah, no, the user, it's completely being abstracted away from the user's interface is pretty
Exactly.
brilliant, and I love it. I love it. So besides making what we're currently working on, which is a centralized exchange type experience to DeFi, which is just ensuring that users are very comfortable. So these are people who are used to Binance, KuCoin, perhaps Coinbase and all of that stuff. But the barrier to entry into stuff like Uniswap is intimidating. But that's the problem on DeFi is solving. What other ways, what other methods, what other things do you guys have in place to onboard the next, billion users possibly to a more complex ecosystem as DeFi, but with a lot of abstraction from all of the complexity? What is the team working on? What is like a roadmap? What do you guys have in mind? So this is, I think, we classified this under the alpha, under the alpha
Yeah,
section. So what are you guys cooking?
yeah, for sure. It's it's pretty complex to to access retail users eventually. And most of these users they look into they start looking into lower cap tokens, especially when the market is let's say like when you already made some profits on Ethereum and Bitcoin, you wanna look into other types of assets. And
Mm,
so today that's not the case. The market is down, so if anything has to be bought, it will probably be ETH and Bitcoin.
mm,
Um, so there's a lot of challenge on that aspect, but where we want to grow as of now is mostly having organic growth. So that means contacting projects which are only listed on DEX and want to have a simple solution for their non-crypto native community to access that specific token. So that's one way that we will attack the market and we will obtain attraction. And also, it's we are also in contact with many websites who only talk about low market cap tokens, and there's a lot of these websites which propose tutorials, that explain you how to set up a MetaMask, how to do all
mm-hmm.
these different types of things.
Yeah.
And also, we are in contact with them, and they're very interested with our solution. So there's many like different things that we're gonna do very organically, to get on more users to our platform. There's also many things that we still need to fix in order to simplify even more than today our user experience. That's like abstracting gas fees, something that we've already mentioned, but also implementing the bridge function so people can bridge their assets between different chains. So there's still a lot of things that we need to finish develop on our side. But that's one way how we will attack the market. We have different ideas, but for the moment we'll keep those ideas on our side.
Mm. Nice. Nice. All right. Awesome. Cool. Thank you for that. Thank you. So while I was navigating the Ondefy platform and trying to get familiar with everything that was being done, I think I noticed that products like Ramp was being used. Obviously, this is to enable users to purchase tokens with their credit cards, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So my
exactly.
question is, then I read on the news that KYC is required in most countries. So this is slightly in a contradictory sense as opposed to the ethos of DeFi. So how are we going to mitigate that as time progresses? I know right now it is essential-esque, right?
Mm.
But it feels like on DeFi somewhat still falls into a very centralized platform, but still trying to push DeFi to the mass. So how are we? What are we working towards that?
Yeah, so eventually, fiat. Whenever you deal with fiat, you have KYC, and that you cannot escape it. Like
Mm,
if you look at platforms like Zerion or Zapper, they have these on-ramp providers, and they always ask for KYC, even MoonPay, when you use OpenSea and stuff. So that we cannot escape for the moment. What we have also where we are very close to is Montpellier. So
mm,
they are also an on-ramp provider, and if you don't do any transactions around over $1,000 per day, you don't have to do a KYC. So with them, it's pretty interesting. It's only available in Europe, but you can buy per day $1,000 worth of crypto, and per year it's $100,000
mm,
without doing a KYC. So on that aspect, it's also cool for a newcomer because in most cases they don't invest so much to begin with.
mm.
But eventually, whenever you want to go and buy bigger amount of crypto, anyway, you will have to do a KYC. But now, you can access the platform and with MetaMask, and you don't need to do any KYC if you don't deal with fiat eventually.
Mm. All right, cool. So yeah, so is there, well, right now, there isn't any way around navigating fiat without proper KYC. So as long as we're trying to include that feature into
Mm.
on DeFi, we will have to still work with and deal with the KYC side of things.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's still a long road ahead for this.
Yeah.
Not having fiat anymore in our system is yeah, it's still there's still a long road ahead for
No,
this.
yeah, 100%. It definitely is still a long road for the economy to be 100% stable coins. I don't know if that will happen. I don't think if that will ever happen. I think there will be a fine balance between fiat and stables and crypto in general, because except of course the technology that we currently have is so simplified that anyone and everyone can use it. And crypto is still very expensive. And I mean that from an education standpoint. It's not anything you can pick up and learn just like that in a couple of days. The barrier to entry is still high. And again, which prompted the solution to the problem on DeFi is solving. But the average Joe who just wants to have cash and spend, well, cash, but I mean money, not necessarily fiat, has no intention of trying to go around and navigate crypto stablecoins, on ramp, off ramp, figuring out which merchant accepts Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDC or USDT, what network do they need
Mm.
to exchange on, the gas fees that are inside of that. Oh, Ethereum is expensive, I need to bridge it to Polygon. Yeah. So I don't think necessarily that crypto, this is just my thought, that crypto will, stablecoins that is, will completely annihilate fiat as a whole. I do think we will just have to work together, and crypto will just be the currency of the internet. And yeah, cross border
Mm.
payments,
For
getting
sure.
the accessibility for finance and lending and borrowing is what the main problem I think crypto will solve as time progresses, as opposed to absolute replacement of fiat.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. I see what you're saying. It's an interesting vision, and yeah, there's still a long road ahead for
Mm-hmm.
going fully decentralized. But I tend to think that there's a future where maybe there won't be any more fiat, and most of our way of exchanging will be through tokens and NFTs. But yeah, let's see how things shape up. I think there's like
Yeah,
probably 10
100%.
to
That should
20
be
years
very.
ahead.
Yeah. That should be very interesting to see. I mean, also very exciting, right? To see us transition from the traditional fiat levels into tokens. It should be very exciting. I do. I'm looking forward to that. But then begs the question: what are your thoughts on absolute decentralization? What are your thoughts? So I have two questions there. One, do you think it's possible? Two, do you think it is necessary? So what are your thoughts? Gauthier, go first, and then I'd like to listen to Clement's thoughts on that.
Okay, yeah, I think yeah, I think everything will be on chain. I think we won't have any fiat anymore. I think that everything will be tokenized, and that what's identical will become a token, and what's unique will be an NFT. And I think we could go back to, you know, uh, how you say in English? It's bartering. I think it's people used to that they used to like exchange, a certain amount
Barter,
of barter. Yeah,
barter,
they
yes.
used to exchange a certain amount of tomatoes against potatoes,
Yeah,
and
yes, yes, yes.
that didn't work because actually they were not able to index assets between each other. At some point of time, it was getting too complex to know like how much potatoes were worth against tomatoes or something like that. And so that's why they created these through time these form of money so that people could exchange. But I definitely think that with tokenization and NFTs, we could go back to a system which, for me personally, makes more sense. Because today, like with all the money that's been printed, real value is not yet visible. And I think in this way, real value could really be represented, and we could have a better way of exchanging using these types of aspects.
All right.
So yeah, that's my
That's an
vision.
interesting. Yeah, that is an interesting proposition. Cool. Cool. So, Clement, what are your thoughts? Do you believe in absolute decentralization? And two, do you
Um,
think it is necessary?
I'm not sure if it will be absolutely necessary or no, but I can tell you that, for example, in our case, for our platform, we are trying to be as decentralized as possible. But some parts still needs to be centralized. For example, with all the data about tokens, some servers that need to be put in one place to make some calculations. Everything is not doable in smart contracts on chain. So we still need to keep some modules centralized, at least by now, until we figure out how to do it differently. But at the moment, I cannot see how everything could be on chain. So from a technical point of view, that may evolve for sure. Right now I say that as more decentralization as possible is a good thing, but it's kind of hard to reach. Is a hard problem.
Yeah, nice. I mean, yeah, that is somewhat of the idea I share as well. So should be interesting. I'm not not necessarily a maximalist as to for or against a particular idea. I'm completely malleable, and whatever happens, I'm excited, and I do hope that the best that happens for crypto, as far as everyone adoption, everything, the best that could possibly happen is all I'm here for. To be honest, we can speculate all of these ideas, which is what we're doing, but we'll only find out 5, 10, 15 years from now what actually does happen.
Yeah, because people are interested in decentralizing the trust, decentralizing points of failure. So I absolutely agree with this. But now it's seeing this from a technical point of view. Now let's see how we can do it, and it's kind of hard to do it 100% at the moment.
At the moment, yes, it's quite difficult. And props to everyone building and just cranking out those hours to build really impressive tools. You guys are amazing, and everyone working here still at Web3 when the market is absolute trash at the moment. But it's cool to know that people are here and building, and should be exciting to see what happens 5, 10 years from now.
Yeah, thanks. We're still here.
Still here. Awesome. So again, welcome everyone. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We will be more than happy to bring you up and you can ask Gauthier and Clement any questions concerning on DeFi, the product they're building, or any question concerning like DeFi and crypto in general. Or perhaps if you have a very controversial take on crypto, on DeFi, on adoption, on accessibility, we are more than happy to have that conversation. And please feel free at any point in time to come up. All right. Awesome. All of that being said, why, and Gauthier, this is a question to you, why is on DeFi important as a piece of software that exists right now? Why is it important?
I think it's today DeFi users, it's around 5 million users. So it's a lot, but it's like nothing compared to the world, and also compared to the people who own cryptocurrencies, who have cryptocurrencies on centralized exchange. So that's around 320 million. So there is a big gap, and one of the main problems that we're solving is eventually the user experience and the accessibility of different types of products in one single place. But I think there's also different types of issues eventually, and that's what we saw in the latest bull run. It's scaling issues eventually, and that is being solved with layer twos. But yeah, on DeFi is really wanting to onboard those users who are centralizing changes, who are not really like in full custody of their assets, and who want a place where they can trade, they can do the same things that they've been doing on centralized exchanges, but fully on chain. And today, there's still like all these centralized exchanges, and it's not following the thesis of decentralization, and it's because there's still a lot of speculation. But as Ethereum is evolving, I think we will tend to a future where liquidity is on chain, and people I think people will use blockchain even more than they are today using it, and this is where we step in.
All right. Sounds good. I personally think on DeFi importance, and why I think why I am excited about this product is accessibility, and I've interacted with it, being able to, while it is slightly controversial, but being able to get into a DeFi protocol with your email address and then have access to all of your wallet and your private keys, and you can swap between multiple chains in a couple minutes, seconds, minutes, is very, very convenient. Very convenient. I used a lot of dApps, a lot of DEXes. I have no problem with them. But more often than not, I use a centralized exchange like Binance for a handful of my transactions. So to have something in a decentralized world that is still fairly similar to what Binance offers is always a breath of fresh air. And you also do not lose the benefits of actual DEXs. So yes, that is my take on that.
Cool. Very, very, very happy to hear what you said, because it's exactly what we're solving, and yeah, I mean, we have still a lot of things to fix, such as the gas problems eventually, because when you come from a centralized exchange, you don't know what gas is, so
Yes.
that's also something we saw from our users, but
Yes.
yeah, we've already abstracted a lot of things, and there's still a lot to work on abstraction for sure.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So we're rounding up right now. Again, huge shout out to everyone that has joined in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have one last question for the team. This is by far my favorite question to ask everyone who comes on here. Right. So what is that one question that I might have missed to ask concerning on DeFi and maybe the team or what you're building, and that particular piece of tech that exists in on DeFi that is so exciting to you that I might have missed? Right. So I'm assuming there's probably something that I might have missed that I didn't ask. And if I did ask them, well, that's amazing. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is, tell us one of your favorite feature or one of the favorite things about this protocol that you've built.
It's kind of a tough one. You have an idea?
It's the Fiat 20 token feature. Yeah, I think it will solve one of the biggest problems, and it will drive more users to our marketplace. And yeah, this is something we're really bullish on. I'm happy to have it released and to show it to the world for sure.
Yeah, because it's something that doesn't really exist at the moment, so it's kind of exciting to experiment and try to solve this problem.
All right, sweet. Should be exciting to experience that when it comes out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a banger.
We'll keep you updated on this.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so that's been it. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined us. We've just had an amazing session with Gauthier and Clem from OnDeFi. This is an amazing set of people building a tool that is making DeFi more accessible to people who are more comfortable with centralized exchanges, but they have the benefits of experiencing DeFi in all of its glory. And they're really, really cool features that they've built. You can go right above the tweets above my avatar here. You can see a tweet by the dApps where we dissected and we talked about on DeFi and everything they're doing. You can follow them on Twitter at on DeFi, but it's an F it's a Y as opposed to an I. So ONDEFY, and you can learn as much as you can. You can reach out to Gauthier anytime. You can reach out to Clem. They're building this tool, and if you have any feedback, suggestions, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to take them and respond. So thank you again from all of us here at the dApps. Thank you for joining us, Gauthier. Thank you for joining us, Clem. Thank you for everyone in the audience. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure as well, and thanks to Yinka and to the dApps for the great hosting. It was really nice, guys.
Yeah, we had a great time. Thanks.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So just one last announcement. We at the dApps have a giveaway. If you haven't stepped out, you're lucky. We have a giveaway. So what you want to do is all by the extreme left of this Twitter space. You want to follow that account and reach all the way down, and you will find what we have given us. So we recently revamped our entire website, and it is fire, man. The team is amazing. Our lead designer did an amazing job, and you can visit the dapplist.com. But we're also having a giveaway. We're giving out this MFR NFT that you see a picture wearing. It's we're fractionalizing it and we're giving that out. So if you want to win yourself a piece of one of the coolest NFT in Web3, then follow the dApps and learn more and do not miss that. If I were you, I'll be keeping an eye out for that. So if you stayed up to this long, that's your alpha. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.